Hello, wonderful person. Hello, wonderful people. I'm Cindy James, and welcome to the first ever In This Very Moment. In this very moment, we hear so much about the present moment, that we need to be in the now. Yet it's an elusive thing when we're living on this planet. So I wanted to give a spot, some breathing space in the race of life to provide me, to provide you, to provide us, to provide humanity and the earth with a moment of connection from what's real and what's true. So, in this very moment, I want to share what I'm honestly feeling, thinking, being in this moment. And I'm feeling a sense of light vibration in my body. I can feel the tops of my feet tingling. I can feel the light that I have behind this camera kind of burrowing into my eyes and causing a halo. And my heart feels so wide open. I feel so in love with humanity, with life, with existence. And I just have this feeling of just wanting to pour compassion and strength and understanding for all of us at this particular moment in time. So in this moment, the topic that I want to bring today as I launch these will be every other week, just a few moments, a pit stop in Mario Andretti coming in. Remember that race car driver for the older ones of us, and having you be cleansed and refueled and revitalized just in a moment. Because when we come into the eternal now, we use our imagination, and that's the topic for today. So I'm going to ask you this question. How's your imagination today? What are you imagining? And do you like what you're imagining? Do you feel powerful and hopeful when you're imagining? Today, my imagination is so in alignment with universal truth that we are infinite sparks of all that is, having a human experience, and that love is all there is. And our play here on this planet is to find it and enjoy it. It exists everywhere. But I'll tell you, my imagination yesterday was in the crapper, especially between 5 and 7. Once daylight saving hits on the East Coast where I am, and it starts to become dark earlier, for the first time in my life over the last couple years, I start to have like a darkening, like existential dread and aloneness in a way that knocks me off my kilter, or knocks me off kilter. I think that's, what is kilter, by the way? I think that's a really fun word. Maybe like the kilter in the washer. Well, I was off kilter or on kilter in the sense that when we have feelings that come up that are unpleasant, they're coming up for transformation. It's like a trash to steam program, like how to convert something that is trash into something that is nourishment, like compost. So when these feelings come up, I know enough to know that it's coming up for a reason. And my imagination, what it did for a while was tell a story, a nefarious, dark story about aloneness, about not mattering. And it came up like roaring, like a demon from the bowels of my lower self. And I cried. I like to say I'm a professional wailer. And I cried and I wailed and I said to God, to the greater, to great spirit, Jesus, Buddha, Baba, love, science, nature, however you know the more, the universe, I need support right now to see clearly. And it was within moments that I got a text from a very beautiful friend of mine and enlightened master, and followed by another text and email, both wanting to communicate. And I received that healing. And what I realized was I am such a sensitive being, and I have been seeing the collective trauma on the faces of people where I go. You know, we're doing the best we can here, but we're going into another winter season, at least in our hemisphere where I'm living, into dark and cold, remembering what last year we were going through, what the planet was going through, and we're still going through it. And I had to let go of wasn't mine, what I was sensing and that I took on, so that I could then actually be a planetary force for love, light, and truth, which is, why not? We all can be that. So once I worked that through, my imagination that was telling a dark tale started to turn and tell the truth. That people need compassion, especially me. That people need hope and light, especially right now. We're going into a full moon tomorrow. So today is the 18th of November. Tomorrow will be the 19th. So whenever you're receiving this in time and space, just go back and forward, do whatever you want. You can time travel. You're very capable of it. If you don't know time's an illusion, just think of daylight savings time. Poof, it changes. It makes me a little knucking futz, the whole time change thing. However, tomorrow is the full moon, and it's also a lunar eclipse, and it's in the sign of Taurus, which has to do with home and stability and feeling sensual and well fed and well taken care of, and having the resources, the money, or the squiggles, as I call it, squiggles on paper or on a screen that we all agree has power. It's very related to us feeling at home in ourselves. And that's the feeling that I was alluding me yesterday, the feeling of being at home in myself, not just my environment or the people that I know and love, but how to feel that deep sense of security. So with a lunar eclipse and a full moon, a lot of babies are born on the full moon. Werewolf, becomes a werewolf on the full moon because there's so much energy pouring in. And the energy right now that you can use your divinely given eternal imagination that actually creates. It is the same creative power that made the heavens and the earth that we have access to. Bippity boppity boo. You can use that power to let whatever limitations, pressures, fears, aches, anxieties, dreads come up for transformation, come up to be catalyzed and transformed into raw creative fuel for yourself and for the world. And that's what I say my job is. If you ever watch The Dog Whisperer and Caesar Milan, there are dogs that are just bred to be service dogs, and they're very anxious when they're not doing something in service. So if he would just strap bricks to their back, the dogs would be calm. I'm like a service dog, that I know that I am in my fullest when all of the resources that I've been blessed to experience and still receive, I can flow like a channel, like an instrument for everyone. So in this moment, I want to just say to you individually in this moment, take a breath into your own precious body. It really is the most intricate, glorious manifestation instrument that was ever created. And tell your thoughts, I see you, and we can have different thoughts if they're troubling you. And connect to your spirit, that part of you that just knows that you exist and that you matter, and that has desires and longings and needs and wants. And let yourself, over these next few days of the full moon manifestation in Taurus, in the season of Scorpio, which is a water sign, so there's feelings. And there's also a lot of shadow, a lot of the holding back and the isolation that comes with Scorpio. Let that dissolve so that you can receive in this moment. I see you. I see you energetically. We can see each other energetically. We are connected. You matter so much that I cried for your wounds yesterday too. And then I transform them for your greatest and highest and healthiest healing and joyful life. I think it's kind of odd, we humans, that as we approach this time of winter, we up the amperage of what we have to do with the holidays and a time when we could be hunkering down and hibernating and reflecting and having some peace and more ease after the harvest. We propel ourselves out to do so much, and the pressure, it broke me over and over again. Like what was supposed to be the most beautiful time of the year became the most stressful time, and a time when I got sick physically. So I want to say, as we go into this, whatever you choose to do, may you have the blessings of the serenity of your spirit shining into your body, into your emotions, into your thoughts, so that we can be the light in darker times, no matter what's happening, and that we can attract the light from others. And I love spending this very moment with you, whatever it is in time and space, if you're receiving it, when it's broadcast or another time, in the present moment. This is not the fleeting now, not the past or the future, the eternal now. It's where the solutions to all the seeming problems lie. It's where love is born in truth and liberates for everyone, forever and ever. And if you would like to spend any more spots of time or some spots of time that add up to more, I was contemplating what's needed. So what I've decided to do is to offer no squiggle sessions, like 44-minute sessions, to help you reveal, unleash, live your true unstoppable identity. Once you know your identity, which is way more than the roles that we have, it's way more than mom, dad, husband, wife, sister, brother, teacher, coworker, entrepreneur, whatever it is, it's way more specific to the joy of your uniqueness. If you'd like to spend some more time with me uncovering what that might be, having a launch session into that for no squiggles over the next few weeks, I've made some space available, and you can just hit the link below about connecting. And there's also some other resources. There's a webinar that I recorded in the Eternal Now. It's about how, like, 3 keys to help a woman activate her personal power, whose aching and anguish comes into to really uplift the world. And if you're a man or another one of the newer gender identities, it's just as valuable to all of us for you to know what those who identify as women are carrying for humanity. And you can also join me anytime at the Galactic Council of Women, all genders welcome. It's like, have you ever really found like a good dessert or a type of wine or a TV show that just completely floats your boat and you just want to share it? That's how I feel about the Galactic Council of Women, all genders welcome. It is the most infinitely divinely inspired source of energy, community, hope, upliftment for ourselves and for the future, for the children of our future, in the easiest, most playful form that I could ever possibly have imagined, but I have had the blessing to imagine. You are so welcome to join us anytime and to feel what happens when that wakes up. So I'm going to conclude by now saying, dear people, with the bippity-boppity-boo, using a sacred instrument called a dorje or a vajra, but like a magic wand, saying, let your imagination be aligned with the deepest truth of who you are, and may you find and access and revel in the resources within you and around you, and have fun playing you. And if you so choose, I'd love you to explore playing in my playground too. Bippity-boppity-boo. Love and blessings.